do something simple.
Welcome back.
Okay, so we are continuing with family relationships, and before the break, our commercial break, we were talking about family relationships, and we divided them in different sections, and she said it's one of the most important for her. But I was reading an article, and I'm going to read directly from the article. It says that this is about parents and children relationship right now. So the article was saying that teenagers need love and support from their parents at a time when most of the things in their lives are changing. You can keep relationships with your teenager's child strong through ordinary everyday activities. So basically the article is saying that one of the most important stages for a child's life is their teenage, and
I think
I don't know why I think
it is important, because I think when a child grows, when they reach a teenage age, they kind of, their behavior becomes permanent from this time onwards. So if those who are start stealing stuff, this is from when their behavior is formed. For example, if they were mistreated, they were beaten up, this is the time they become aggressive, and they become with full of hate, either to their parents or to the people that brought them up, because not everybody is brought up with their parents.
Yeah. And also, I think the reason why they say teenage is one of the most important, I think it's because it is a time where we are going through, like the article says, it's a time we're going through different changes. I mean, physically, emotionally, like everything all in your life is changing. All the people, now you no longer feel beautiful, and I mean, just coming from the teenage, I mean,
they're getting some.
Yeah, you're getting like your body's changing. Everything is changing. So I think that's why they said it's the most important, because family is one of like the most secure emotional bases a person can have. So if your parents, especially the parents, do not take care of you at that stage, they might either lose you or like you go off the rails.
You go in. For example, if they want to form you into a certain
individual.
Yes, they have some certain characteristic they want to bring you up with. This is the very important stage. That's why they should be spending a lot of their time, I think, with their kids at this time.
And the article also was saying that there's also a lot of influence from outside, and I think this is true, because when you're going through your teenage years, I mean, regardless of where you are, most of the times, I do not want to assume, but most of the times you are in high school. And high school is kind of one of those stages where people are either made or broken, like as we say. That's when people start drinking. Like you start all these kind of weird behaviors that you don't learn from your family, obviously.
Because you want to feel like you're belonging to a certain
group of people, So parents need to keep more attention. But then also it can be a little bit problematic, because I feel like sometimes it goes overboard, like parents want to be too protective.
Yes, because they have learned that at this stage, like much is happening, and they are also aware about this peer pressure, like coming from their peers. So they will be trying to protect the kid, but being too protective sometimes can be
harmful as well, because now the kid can either go off the rails and not be social, like you can have no friends. So I think there's a need for balance. Let's just say there's need for balance from both the parents and the teenager. I think also us as children, we have to understand that even though at that age you don't understand anything, but that our parents are trying. Because I think most of the times it's because there's broken communication and we don't see our parents trying, we just hate them.
So apart from the parents being aware, the children themselves, but I don't know how. Maybe there are some schools or primary schools or high school that are doing like initiatives. They're doing like programs to educate youth. Maybe mostly for the female. I don't know about male, but maybe I have had many programs that are arranged. Even some of my friends, they have been arranging programs to go and talk to girls, because it's about how our society is. Like the girl is taught lots of stuff, but for the male child, I don't know, they end up doing what their friends are doing. I mean,
and I think that's another problem.
The parents, I think they let them, because they feel like, okay, he's a man.
I don't necessarily think they think he's a man.
Okay.
I just think that they don't want to destroy their ego. Because, I mean...
Which one?
Okay, I saw a comment. That's why I was pausing to read the comment. You can read it. But then I think it's really, really interesting and challenging for a girl child when they're going through adolescence than it is for a guy. That's just my opinion. For a girl.
Really?
That's my opinion because I'm a girl. And parents give different types of attention. Like from our society, I think most of the time we are taught to become ladies and the guys or the boys are not taught to become men. They're just left to wander up and about.
Yeah, I even been writing poems about it because I think it's existing in our societies. For the way the kids are brought up, and the male kids and the female kids, let me say, they are not brought up the same way. I think it should be almost the same way, because if you treat this child different and the female child different, then they grow up with different perspectives, and I think it's kind of like a barrier to some of the things that they can't do, or they could be capable of doing, but because they are brought up with this kind of thing. And I think mostly, like we said, it comes from the teenage age, because when you tell a child something, they're going to forget about it, so it won't be very influential. But when you tell a teenager, mostly they will be really like holding on to it, they'll be more fixated into that thing, and they'll be...
And also, I think parents should tell us about their experience, because their experience matters. If you sit us down and tell us that I've gone through this, I've been through, even though some parents feel embarrassed, why should I tell my kid about my teenage years? But I think it's necessary, because it tells you that my parent has been a human like me.
But then
before.
if you had a bad experience as a parent, it's
no,
not
you
easy.
have to. It's not easy, but you have to, because kids can easily learn. Like,
but because it can backfire,
before.
The child will be like, "Mom, you did this, so why are you on to me like this?"
It can backfire, but I think it's also necessary to share your experience. I mean, you don't have to give all the nitty details about, like, I did that. But I mean, a parent saying, I've been drunk before and I know where this leads you, and this can be dangerous. The road you're going can be dangerous. You have to take care. I think it's important.
What about for the parents that became pregnant at their teenage age? Like, when they tell this to their teenagers, they'll be like, I can do it. My mom did it. It's like my role model did it. I mean,
your mom can tell you the experience she had.
The kind of say the parents may not have that kind of say. So that's why they have to keep it as a secret. Like, they don't tell their children about it.
Okay, we can agree to disagree. I think you should tell your kids part of your experience. I'm not saying tell them all the details about it. I'm just saying parents should be able to say, I have gone through this and I know the road you're going, and I can tell you before you even get there that this is dangerous. Okay, rushing through quick. Some of the ways parents can the article says some of the ways parents can spend time with their kids is like having regular family meals. I think that's important.
One-to-one meals.
Yeah, like eating together.
What does it add? Like, if I eat with my mom, I eat and I go.
No,
I
think that's you chat with them and you talk.
Some don't chat when they're eating. Like, there are some traditions. I'm telling you the truth.
It's true.
Some traditions people don't chat when they're eating. So this is more maybe a westernized tradition. When they are on the table,
I think
they are communicating
I think
with
even
their
for
children.
my family, it's okay.
Yeah. You mean
to eat and talk? I mean, it's one of the times where you
get choked.
It's one of the times you associate with your siblings, I think. And there's also one-to-one meeting or celebrate your children's accomplishments.
One-to-one meeting, they happen when, for example, a child did something. Today, you are going to see...
And most of the times it ends up with a whip. Shh. Like, give it. Next thing is celebrate your child's accomplishments, which is important. Some parents are like, yeah, you passed your exams. Congratulations, go and sleep.
But some don't even notice, for real.
Yeah,
like when you're growing, I don't want to mention some of the people that told me, but I can see it, that there are some people that when they were growing up, the parents, they pay the fees, but they don't care much about your academic achievements.
So we are saying paying fees is not enough, parents. We want to be taught that we are proud of you. You're doing well.
It feels good, I think.
Good. Yeah, it feels good.
Like, it gives you some kind of motivation to do whatever you're doing better.
The article also adds family traditions, household responsibilities, limits and consequences. I think this is important. Like, parents have to tell you that when you go off this, we are going to give you this punishment.
For example, like when the time for coming back home, or
I mean, not curfew, because curfew most of the time doesn't work. We just become criminals. We just check what time you are coming home. It doesn't really work. I mean, to all the parents out there, curfew doesn't work. We just check your time. If we know you're out of the house until 7, we'll come at 6:59.
Will you make it?
No, come at 6:59 and hide. Anyway, but I think it's important, like, not necessarily curfew, but some behavior. Like, if you shout at an elder when they are talking, you are going to get this type of punishment.
But I think it's not only left. I think this should not only be left as a duty for the mom. But I think the father should also be included. But usually, the way our society taught us, the father is usually there to scold on the child. For example, they did something bad, but when it's coming to congratulating the child when they did something good,
the father says, "Oh, this is my child." When you're wrong,
but they don't ask nothing about what's going on. I think it's important because some feel left out. Maybe it can happen like male children being brought up well by their father and female children being brought up well by their mom, but it can also be the opposite. I mean, the female and with their father and the male and their father, or let me say overall, I think fathers should do more.
Both parents should do more. I think both parents should do more. Because
but I think currently from our societies, I think mothers are doing much.
Yeah, mothers are doing much. So maybe like we should reduce the load.
Not really. They can still be doing as much as they're doing, but what's important is what the father adds into the child's life.
That's true.
Because there are some values not maybe the mom cannot, maybe not even by teaching them, but the way they behave with the child can learn from the dad, and you will not know these kind of things.
Yeah, even Sir Milt agrees. She says he or she.
It's a she.
She says the father is always absent, leaving everything to the mom. And that is so true. But I mean, it's not in all families, because I can give examples of where I've seen children raised by their father and the father being more present. So we can't make a generalization like fathers are always absent. There are some families that you have fathers being present and fathers taking care of their children. But what we're saying right now is, especially from our communities, that fathers should step up and help the mothers, because it's really important for a child to get both perspectives.
Just scolding a child, I think it's not.
And also to learn how a man is supposed to treat you.
Oh yeah.
Because
I mean the kids learn. Yeah. Because from the way, especially for example, the ladies when they grow up, they expect their husbands to be in this way, in this kind of behavior, relating to how their dad was. Or maybe even how their brothers, just the sibling to sibling relation, how their brother, yes. So I think it's important.
Yeah, it teaches you standards. I mean, there are some things that I cannot allow any man to do, because I know my father did never do them. Like and what? I know certain things.
Yeah,
certain things.
Are they aggressive?
I mean, like, shout. Like, no, really.
What do you mean by shout?
No, really. My parents sit me down and talk to me and say, I feel this was wrong.
So they haven't scolded you before? You mean after
I mean like sitting me down and talking to me as a human being and saying this is wrong, and because of this I'm going to whoop your ass, and I'm going to do this. This is because you did this wrong. Not like no.
When you're scolded, I think when children are scolded, they even become more aggressive.
Not aggressive. They get used to in fact.
Yeah.
Get used to that.
When they what happens when they're used to like the beating? You know, like Trevor knows.
You don't care. You even practice.
What do you mean?
You practice. You tell your other siblings to beat you so you don't feel the pain when your parents beat you. I'm joking. I've never done this. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's a lot about parenting. I think we should see you guys in the... We
are pausing. We are coming back in the next 2 minutes. We're taking a commercial break.
I hope football is done so that we can get more viewers. Yeah, I know. I am a football fan, so basically if I wasn't doing this kind of thing, in short, I'm sacrificing my time, but otherwise I'll be really watching.
Yeah, she annoys me with football in the room.
Are you serious?